Hello and welcome to part 5 of the mosquito crash diorama. Now, as you can see, I've got the actual frame here, which is just an ordinary picture frame, and I've cut 2 sheets of polystyrene underfloor insulation foam and to size, and glued them together with some PVA wood glue. And I've just started the basic layout. All I've actually done is just sort of marked out sort of roughly where I want the actual skid marks or crash marks to actually be, and where the actual final resting place is of the mosquito. So basically what I'll do now is, we can just basically make out there, which I've drawn in with pencil. What I'll do now is I'll start carving in, and what I might actually try and do is use some heat to actually try and melt the big trenches. If not, then I'll go back in with a craft knife. I don't recommend trying it with a flame, but I have tried it on a separate piece, and it is a little bit forgiving, but needs great control. So if this is going to be your first time doing it, I wouldn't recommend it. So what I'll do is I'll have a quick slurp of my coffee, and then we'll make a start on actually trying to sort of base out the layout. Okay. Okay, well, I hope that you could see what I was doing there. Like I said, needs great control with the flame. Some of the gouges are just that little bit wider than what I actually want, but at the end of the day, this has all got to be now covered with some filler, so that to build it all up. But the basics are there, and that the mossie actually sits in where I want it to. Obviously, that'll need gluing to get the final angle, but that sits below the level, so that looks like she's dug into the ground, which is good. What I'll do now is I'll get all the filler ready and start plastering that all over, and then trying to build up some of the mounds where the mould would, or the soil would have built up, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, right, well, for the first layer I've just gone over with a wet brush just to sort of level it down a little bit. Now I'll leave that to dry overnight, and then what we'll do is we'll give it another coat. Don't want it to be sort of like pin table smooth, because obviously it's supposed to be a grass field, so there'll be some few little lumps and bumps, but also got to fill in some more of the detail where I want the actual sort of divots in the ground where the airplane has. Yeah, for that we'll come back. Okay, so it's all nice and dry now. I've just had a little touch here and there just to sort of build up the sides. What I'll do now is mix up some artist acrylics to make a sort of a muddy sort of green as a base layer before we actually put the static grass on, and we'll come back after that's done. Okay, well, whilst we were there, I added a little bit of brown to start adding in the dirt areas. Go back again, doing some splodges of different colours around, just to sort of give the grass, when we actually apply it, some bits of depth. So yeah, I'll let this dry overnight now. We can now see the basics of what we're trying to achieve. Obviously this is just a very basic, and obviously the detail will be added later. Okay, right, well, off camera what I've done is actually put some more different colours of green on the base there, just to sort of splodge them around. A little bit of yellow as well mixed in, so it just gives a bit more of a depth on the actual base setting as it is. What I'll do now is I'll put some PVA glue on, and then I'll apply static grass using my homemade static grass applicator, which As people will probably know, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube how to make one of these. Basically it's just a fly swatter and a tea strainer. But yeah, I shall give that a go, and we'll see what the results are. What I'll be using is various different lengths and colours of grass, hopefully to give it a natural look, and see how she turns out. Okay. right, well that's the first basic layers of the sort of short and sort of medium grade of static grass, 2 and 4 mil. So what we'll do now is we'll leave that to set, and then what I'll do is I'll come back and tip this up and get rid of the excess, or even just run the hoover over it gently, and then we'll go on to the second coat by using a thin down sort of spritz of PVA glue and water, and then start adding some more. Okay, well, as per usual, the camera didn't get all the steps that I was doing, but basically I've put the first layer on, and also some of the taller 4 and 6 mil, some of the grass just on this area here. Also started putting the earth in. It was actually proper soil, sterilised over in a frying pan to kill any little bugs and weasels. And what I shall do is I shall now go over again where I've got some very thin patches. What I'll do is I'll spray down some watered PVA glue and reapply some more of the static grass. Okay. Okay, well it's been a good few days, in fact nearly a week now since I'd done any more video shooting, but basically what I was doing, I was just sort of finessing up the mounds and sort of just giving an extra little layer and some spritzes of watered down PVA over the top of the grass just to make sure it was all stuck down. Now got the plane actually epoxied in, so she's in the position now. I will take some photographs as per usual at the end to do the reveal. But yeah, looking nice, like the way she's turning out. Just done a little bit of pastel work on the wings, just to add sort of touch of flavour of sort of dust and muck flying up as she crash landed. But what I'll do is I may, as time goes by, add a few little bits of wreckage as and when I try and sort of either copy some from the other Mosquito model that I've got from Tamiya, or sort of try and scratch build my own. But I did try making some wheel well doors out of thin brass sheet, but and then crumple them up, but they're not very effective. So what I'll do is I may come along at another point and make some moulds and do the same as I did with the underwings using car body filler. If I do, then I'll post a short video on how I do them and adding them into the to the diorama. One other thing was that a sort of a detrimental effect was that the fact that the actual polystyrene tiles or the actual floor tiles that I used, somehow the PVA glue has sort of managed to sort of warp them a little bit. Maybe they soaked up a bit too much moisture, but painted the outside black as best I could and then glued it all into the bottom of the frame, and I think that's given it a little bit of character actually, so sort of made it so it's not actually totally flat. So yeah, hoping that you've liked this little build series and little know-hows that I show you. As usual, if you like, please subscribe and hit that notification button, and thanks for watching. I'll post some photographs at the end, and I'll see you next time on the next build. I may leave a clue at the end of the video, I may not. Might leave you all wondering what it's going to be. But until next time, thanks for watching, and go and build a model.